What is taxation? What is taxation? Taxation, of course, is the process of imposing tax. And what is a tax? A lot of businesses, small businesses, always confuse what a tax is and what a levy is. Sometimes, although there could be issue of multiple taxation, but it's very important to know that this is when you are paying tax as a small business, and this is what you are paying as a levy as a small business. Now, so there are some payments you make. Maybe you pay toll fee, you pay penalty for maybe some infringements going against the traffic or some problems with the government. These are levies. These are compulsory levies. These are levies. It may not be compulsory. Compulsory levy that you pay that is in line with the tax law. That is what we call tax. So when we talk about tax, tax is a compulsory levy, and it is imposed by the government on individual firms and entities. And it could be imposed on business income, it could be imposed on goods and services rendered. Okay, but for levy is generic, and it could be a levy, could be a tax, it could be a penalty, it could be a fine, it could be a toll, and these are generic thing. But generally levies are imposed by government as well. Okay, but that kind of levy that is compulsory, that you must pay, and that is imposed by the government, backed up by the law, is tax. Okay, now usually tax is imposed on your profits or on goods or services. So small businesses should take note of this distinction, so they know when you are paying tax and you know when you are paying levy, so you can challenge based on the tax law. Okay, now to quickly summarize this, I said that tax is often imposed by on income and on consumption. So we have the income related tax and we have the kind of consumption related taxes. And usually when you pay your tax, you don't get direct benefits from that tax you are paying. So whereas you are paying tax, you don't expect anything in return immediately. So it affects everybody in that country. So there's an indirect benefit from tax. Okay, now, and also a tax is supported by an act. An act is enacted by the house, both lower and upper house. Okay, so and assented by the president. So an act is a law, and the law must be followed in terms of tax. But for levy I say is generic. You don't get direct benefit from levy sometimes, and sometimes you get direct benefit. If you don't get direct benefit, maybe when you get an indirect benefit, that kind of levy is tax. Okay, but some kind of levy you pay to government like toll, you get direct benefit by using that particular road, and you pay toll to the government. That's a form of levy for using that facility. Okay, and levy are based on regulation. It will not be based on the law enacted by the house. Okay, and it's not compulsory, it's on income. Most time levies are not on your income, but that kind of levy that you pay that is compulsory on your income that you earn, that one is known as tax. Okay, so as a small business, know the difference between these two things. So you should know when tax is coming, and when you are not bringing up cases of double taxation, then you know that, oh, this is double taxation, because the law requires you to pay only this as tax and not paying two different taxes on the same tax base or on the same income. Okay, so we'll be looking at the next part of this training, which is the Nigerian tax system. As a small business, you should understand how Nigerian tax system works, so that you will know how you position your business properly to ensure that you are not overburdened by the Nigerian tax system. In a separate training, we'll be going into tax planning for small businesses. We'll look at tax planning on VAT, on PI, personal income tax, company income tax, and different parts. But I will just run through the component of Nigerian tax system now, so that you should know how you position your business properly. Now is we have the tax policy. As a small businesses, when you hear of tax policies are just statements of intentions. They are statements of general intention by the government. It could be by the president, it could be by the governor, it could be by the minister. They are just policy general statement of intention. The policy could be that, oh, we want to encourage agriculture, okay, by giving them tax holiday. That is a policy. The policy could be that we want to encourage entertainment by reducing their tax, or okay, that's their the personal income tax of entertainer. That is a policy. That is not a law. And as a taxpayer, you follow the law. Usually, when there's a policy, it comes with tax law. The benefit of following the policy as a small business, or you form an association of small businesses, is that you want to ensure that your business is positioned properly where the policy is favorable. If a policy is favorable to hospitality industry, or is favorable to computer or ICT industry, or is favorable to manufacturing, then you want to set your business in line with that policy, so that when the law comes out, your business will benefit from the law coming out of the policy. So as a small business owner, you should know that the tax law are clearly stated. These are law. They could be an act of parliament. That's an act that has gone through the stages of creation of law, as laid down in the 1999 Constitution. Okay, so these are are now clearly have stated clearly in black and white what you should pay as tax and what you should not pay as tax. And the law have stated the tax you should pay to the local government, the kind of tax you should pay to the state government, the kind of tax you should pay to the federal government. All are stated in the law. So anything other than that stated in the law, these are taxes you are not supposed to pay, and these are just extortion if you are paying that, and you can take it up to the tax panel or the tax arbitration that's the tax tribunal or the tax courts. Then we have the tax administrators. These are people that go about to collect the taxes in line with the tax law. Therefore, you as a small business, you will have an idea of the taxes you're supposed to pay or the taxes you're not supposed to pay. Like if you're a business name, a small business, a business name, not a company, not a limited liability company, and they say you should pay company income tax, then that is not supposed to be, because your business name, your business is situated, let's assume it's situated in Lagos State. Your tax should be in Lagos. That's you do your direct assessment or you do your payee. But if you're a limited liability company, then you should pay company's income tax on the federal government. Okay, so as a tax small business, you should understand the kind of tax you should pay. That's why in this training, I'm going to explain to you the taxes you should pay and the taxes you should not pay. Then we also look at the taxpayer. The taxpayer, they are you and I. We are the taxpayer. Okay, the people in the system are the taxpayer. So as a taxpayer, you should know the taxes you should pay to the tax administrator. If as a small business you don't know the tax you should pay to the tax administrator, the tax administrator will ride on your ignorance, and they may even want you to pay tax that you're not supposed to pay because you are not aware of what you're supposed to pay. And you may even be begging them of something you're not supposed to pay because of lack of information or lack of knowledge, enlightenment on your part. Okay, so these are the components of the Nigerian tax system. I want to thank you for listening to this session, and we'll go to the next section. Bye for now.